Greetings, fellow cruisers. This is Jeff from Enjoy Life Traveling. I am currently on deck 1 of Explorer of the Seas, getting ready to do a tour. That is one of the crew members letting me know that I am not supposed to be down there. The medical area is down there, and I did not need that. This is where you would disembark the ship also for an excursion or getting off the boat. So I did want to at least kind of give you an idea as to what that looked like. It's fairly narrow. There are 2 of them. And this is actually like nearing the last day of the cruise, so all those things are getting ready to take all the luggage. So this is level 2, and we'll go over here and show you what you can expect to see on the different floors. Level 2, there's really not a whole lot on level 2. So I just wanted to, again, just kind of give you an idea. This isn't really a bad area to be on the ship as far as location, because of the fact that when you're wanting to get off the ship and then get back on, you're steps away instead of trying to get on an elevator that can get quite crowded and sometimes you're waiting a long time. So it's got its merits. It can be a little bit louder depending on which ship you're on. But I actually kind of like level 2 because of that. Again, when I get on the ship, those elevators can be a pain in the butt, whereas if I just got to walk up the steps, it's so easy. So again, I'm going to do this like I did a few of the other videos, to where I'm going to take the stairs and just kind of show you a little bit of the artwork that you might be seeing as we go up to level 3. Now, level 3, you're going to find the dining room on level 3 and the main dining room. There's 3 floors of dining room here. And this is kind of a 2-part area, because on one side you've got dining, and on the other side you've got Studio B. So I will get to that here in just a little bit. But again, this is the dining room. I'll kind of get a peek of that just on inside a little later. I think I do that in the 4th or 5th floor again, because it's fairly active there. So actually, I told you wrong there. I said Studio B, and this is actually right here with the dining room. So my apologies there. I got it confused as I was looking at it. So again, it's fairly easy. This is your photo session area where you can get all your pictures taken care of. There's bathrooms to my left there. But a lot of things can go on at Studio B. They have their Red Party, which is just a one-day kind of a nightclub where they turn this into that. The Crazy Quest was held here. The Ice Show obviously is held here. So there's multiple functions that will go on at this location, and there's bars on each side. Not always a bartender working on each side, but it's there. And the one thing about here is that I would recommend getting a little bit early because of those poles there. The poles can be put in there and really obstruct your view. And obviously there's a gap that'll come in between there. So you end up losing seats because people will avoid that instead of just going to the next one available. So yeah, plan ahead, particularly for the ice show and such, because it will get busy on that ice show, and you're going to lose out on possibly some seats there. You do not need a reservation for the ice show on this ship. That is an Oasis class thing, so you don't got to worry about that. And then I'll just take the stairs up here so I can show you. We're getting more to the main area here, which is going to be on decks 4 and 5. And really, that's where most of the stuff is at, other than when you get up to the pool area. But again, I'm gonna show you the whole thing. It's very well done. I like the steps. It has that sense of class to it, of elegance to it. I know that some people look at those things and they'll try to figure out if it's dated or undated. And to me, if it is elegant, then it is elegant, and it doesn't have a date to it. You're allowed to have a different period about you to do that. So again, this is the Sapphire dining room area here. I'll just get over and get a quick peek. I don't want to disturb anybody here because it is lunchtime. So that's what's going on there is a bit of a lunch for certain people. And yeah, I'll just kind of cruise on through here. Again, deck 4 and 5 has most of the stuff. Menus, I'd like to hear some feedback from you. I've had somebody ask me if I would do my take on the menus and what I think of it. So I did want to put that out there. So if that's something that interests you, let me know. This was kind of a rough day outside, so I was going to kind of go walk around the deck area to kind of show you that outside area, but because of the high winds and such, they went ahead and closed that off, so I wasn't able to get that view. However, there is a way to get to the helipad. You have to go through, and then you go up some stairs outside, and you'll be at the helipad there. There's some places to sit, and they'll remove those if there's a need for a helicopter. Obviously, we're passing part of the art gallery. You'll see art all around this ship, but this is where most of it is at. And then on the other side there, you've got another one of the lounges there, the tavern. We really liked the tavern because we like to play games, and I was doing this. Part of the cruise anyway was because I was playing games with some friends. It's got a good table. So as you can see, it does have an area there for the music, and but it isn't always going on. It's an off and on thing here. They'll do some other events, but that table where those people are sitting, that's a fantastic table. If you got a bunch of people playing games, that's the place to do it. And if you're looking for something a little more secluded for two people to play games or whatever, back around that corner is a good place to go. The wait staff did a pretty decent job through most of it, and I certainly recommend tipping. They really seem to come around to those people that tip a little bit more. I'm not saying they don't come around regardless, but it does make a difference, and they remember the people that are taking care of them. So throwing an extra buck or so their way definitely makes it worthwhile. The casino here, that Casino 4 is absolutely beautiful. I mean, one of the best ones, I think, in their fleet. I do have a tour already out of the casino as a whole, so I'm just going to use this as a cut through. Again, there's a bar there, there's an ATM here, and there's also some bathrooms to the right here in the corner. There is a ladies' room and a handicapped restroom for, doesn't matter the gender, and then to the left there, just up the ramp, is the men's room. So that's kind of a hidden gem there, because there's not enough people that know about that, and they end up walking all the way through to the ends of either way of the ship to be able to go to the restroom. And the restrooms over on this side really are kind of small. So they're here. This is, of course, your schooner bar. The schooner bar is a staple of Royal Caribbean, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll go down the stairs here. So you can see there's Giovanni's. If you're looking for Italian, that's here. And so, yeah, this is the other side. You can't just go through on 3. You're going to have to go down the steps to get to the main floor of the Palace Theater. And the Palace Theater had a movie going on, I believe, at this time. I'm doing this as a voiceover, and you're trying to remember as what I was doing, but I believe this was Wicked that was showing on the movie theater here. So, yep, that's it. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to take a quick peek through here just so you can kind of get an idea of the size. Now, this is going to have your Broadway style shows. It'll have your comedians. It'll have if there's a juggler or a ventriloquist or whatever's going on, they're going to be most likely right at this place here. There's seating upstairs that you can go through here. And that's a little hint for you. If you're at an event and you're trying to get out those doors and you know that it's going to be so crowded, if you go up those stairs, you're going to have really nobody bothering you, and you're going to be on the next floor and walking past people. So I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Bars over here, bars on the other side. They do a fair job here when you are getting your drinks. Once the show starts, you're not going to be able to get a drink. So don't expect that. When I say get a drink, I mean someone coming down there to take your order. They won't do that during any of the events. So plan ahead a little bit there, and then I would also recommend to you, as you probably heard me on some of the other ones, is that, if you don't think you're going to stay for the entire show, or you're not sure if you like it and you may leave, or even if you have to go to the restroom a whole lot, sometimes if I've had too much to drink, that might be the case. I would recommend that you sit towards the back. That way you do not disturb any of the guests, or more importantly, the entertainers that are trying to focus on their job. And the other thing I would throw out there, just my 2 cents, is stay for the entirety of the event. Let the cruise director come out and let you know what's going on. There's no need to run off the theater area in a hurry because trying to get to the neyou thing there. It's just a courtesy that I certainly believe in doing. Yeah, I get it. You got to go to the restroom. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if you know that this is a strong possibility, just sitting towards the back makes a lot of sense. So again, I'll get off my high horse. That's just my 2 cents on it. So we're going to go up here. Again, we're at the point now to where it is not much going on. So I'll just head up the steps, and because I was coming down from 3 and from 4. So I want to get to level 5 where the stuff is at. Again, there's great artwork all around this ship. Obviously, it depends on if you're into art or not, and there's more art than I'm going to be showing you here. But if you like that, I mean, having a look around, even during the hallways there where you're just getting into your cabin, there'll be some artwork around there. So again, restrooms over here. This is a great area to kind of look out over, and we're coming up on the Star Lounge. The Star Lounge has a lot of games and such they'll do there. They can do some of the other, like a Crazy Quest there, but most of the time they're going to do that because of the participation. That's a concierge lounge there. Most of the stuff is going to be right in here. And this is an area that can be really tough to get into on some of the bigger events, particularly if they're like back-to-back. This place will be crowded early, and then you end up with people that are standing like literally right. You find your seat, and then if you're too far back, someone will stand right in front of you. And I'll say something. I'll say, excuse me, I can't see, because they'll come in so late, but they want to see it. So if you're going to something that's here, and it's really important to you, plan it early. You're going to want to get a seat there. There is no reservation for it. So, again, just make sure that you get your spot because you'll miss out or be standing through the entire event. The elevators, obviously, much like a lot of the other elevators, when you got something big going on, a big event, or you're getting on and off the ship for whatever reasons, first day or from excursion, they can get pretty packed. So have patience. It isn't always that way. This is obviously the promenade, cafe promenade there. This does not have a Sorrento, so your pizza is going to be in there. And they don't have it all the time, but every once in a while they have something they call their carnivore pizza, and it is excellent. So I highly recommend that you get that. They'll do some other pizzas there too. I know a lot of times you expect pepperoni or cheese, but they do have a few different things here that they'll do. So again, the band will set up in there, and then you've got your English pub. And then above this, that skywalk, a lot of times they'll do your shows, the 70s show or the 80s show, depending on how long the sailing and how much time they got. But this is also obviously a big shopping opportunity if you're into that. And it's another way down to the casino. They definitely don't want to make it hard to get to the casino. It was funny, on this transatlantic trip that I took this from, they had trouble with one of the doors at the beginning of the cruise and they couldn't open it. So you kind of had to go to the other end, or in this case, the middle, to get into the casino there because they had the doors that were just locked in open. But anyway, the shops here, they had some pretty good deals because of the transatlantic. So that's something you might want to consider when it went from Miami over to Spain. All that stuff that was Caribbean, we were just trying to get rid of because it doesn't apply. So they had T-shirts of all different sizes there, 2 for $8. And that obviously didn't last real long because it didn't take long to sell those shirts out. But if you're doing a transatlantic and you're wanting to get in something from the Caribbean and you're going away from the Caribbean, that's an opportunity for you there. So something to think about. The shops as you go through here, and I think I already passed it, but I wanted to bring up that inch of gold. I mean, we did that, I guess, 2 years ago. We bought a chain, and it is basically lead covered with a gold paint. But they're selling it as like you're getting, something that's worth more than what it is. So I would tell you to stay away from that. It really takes one time, maybe in the pool, and it's going to be washed off and gone. I would never go to buy anything at inch of gold. That's your Voom desk. They can move that around a little bit. And then, again, here's another opportunity for some music that they'll sometimes do here. But this bar is really more of a lounging. Not a whole lot is done here, to be honest with you. I say music. I'm trying to think of last time I saw something on music on the ship, because I've been on it, I think, 4 times. I'm not sure I can, so I'm going to take that back. But it's really just a place to relax. But the tables aren't big enough to play games on. They're kind of an awkward shape. So if you're just looking to chill, or you've got a game that plays real small, it may work out for you. But again, other than that, it's just awkward. When you see those ships that you just saw be passed there, the way that ship is pointing is the same way that the real ship is pointing. So in the same way with the what you're looking at here, if you see in the front of the ship, the nose of it, that's the actual way the ship is facing. So that's an opportunity if you get turned around to kind of get your bearings. And on most of the ships, if you are getting food, that is usually going to be on the back of the ship if you're talking about the Windjammer or the main dining room. So again, that's another way to help orientate yourself through here. So as you come up, there's very little to do for the rest of it. Most of it's cabins. So, but again, you're going to have your next cruise desks and other opportunities here. So to pick up some flyers to see what you might want to do. If you're going to do a next cruise, you don't have to do it on the ship to get the bonus. All you really want to do here is to get the next cruise certificate to them so it's paid. And as long as you find the cruise on your own within 30 days, you'll get that extra onboard credit, which will vary depending on the type of cabin that you select for your cruise. So that's an opportunity to get a little bit of money out of it, but you don't have to make the decision right there. And quite frankly, your own take on what you're trying to do and taking your time to do it is going to pay off better than having those guys just fill a need without really looking at all the other little things. This is the library / game room. Not a lot of room in here. It is usually full. That's why I mentioned the tavern and that long table. I like that a whole lot better because not only do you have a better table, although it's really just not much to choose from. There's just the one big table. Maybe two people can use it as far as a bigger group. You get drinks. There's a place to get a drink. Where you're on the card room, you're kind of stuck. You're not near anything. So I don't necessarily appreciate that as much. Again, just my 2 cents. It's really always all cabins until you get up to the Windjammer on 11, and of course washy time. The Windjammer here it's pretty basic. Again, you got your bar right up front, just like all the other Windjammers. You've got food on each side as they transition. One side will be open, one side will not be open. So again, I just wanted to give you just a quick peek around here for the tables. If you are trying to get a table by the window, you better get there early or get there late. Otherwise, you're kind of taking what you can get. I would recommend that you got either someone or something with you that will hold the table, because otherwise, as soon as you get up, something's going to happen. They're either going to clean the table or somebody else will grab the table, even if it's not clean. So definitely want to have something with you that kind of marks that you're holding the table, whether that be a bag or something like that. Theft is rare on a cruise ship, not impossible. So leaving something on the table may not be a bad idea there. As we look through here, you got your specialty dining. So if you like that specialty dining, I don't personally feel like it's worth it. Again, that's just my take. I've done the Chops Grill with my wife, and we both felt that it was just as easy to go to the main dining room and get that steak. Now, the steaks at the main dining room are your thinner steaks, and the steaks here that you can get are probably going to be the more thicker steaks, if that's a big deal to you. But I think they do a great job of cooking it in the Windjammer. Not in the Windjammer. I think they do a great job of cooking that in the main dining room. You just saw the soft serve ice cream, obviously. The other opportunity for ice cream, again, is the main dining room, which is usually available, I believe, every time for your dessert option. And that's not going to be the soft serve. That'll be the actual ice cream. And their strawberry ice cream is possibly the best strawberry ice cream that I've had. Just, again, that's my take on it, but I feel pretty strongly about that. The pool area as a whole, I like these comfortable seats they've got at the sides. There is a smoking section that is just kind of one corner of it. So know that when you're sitting down where you're sitting at, if that's something that bothers you, or if you need the area of smoking, that you've got the right spot, because they will say something. And if not nothing else, some of the other passengers will say something. That's kind of a hot button there. So anyway, as we go through here, this is going to take you to the Solarium. The Solarium here is okay. I like the Radiance class type Solarium. I think that's my favorite, because although I love that these are bigger hot tubs, from a hot tub standpoint, it's great, but this is open air, whereas on the Radiance class, it is enclosed. So if it's cold outside, it's cold inside. If it's windy, even though you've got some walls around it, that wind gets in there and just kind of whips through. So that's how I feel about it. So I would tell you that, if you're not on a sailing during warm weather, which really this was, May 30th to the April 30th to mid-May. And for us, it was too cold to use the pool. Matter of fact, it was too cold for most people to use the pool, whether that be when we started in Miami or when we got to Spain. So again, to each their own. This used to always be open, and now you can't hardly get it open. I kind of fought through the door because a lot of times there's just a sign on it, and there wasn't a sign. I'm like, oh, good, maybe I can get in. So I'm pushing and I'm tugging and trying to get through there because it's a great view. It's a nice area, but it won't open. So I was hoping that maybe if I went to the other side, I might have that option there. I'm fiddling through here. Sorry. Little place to sit if you need to take a little break. Those are rarely filled. That little bench that you saw there. As we come on through, I wanted to let you know that this ship was first sailing was in November of 1999. So you're talking about a 26-year-old ship. As far as I'm concerned, it's in fantastic shape. I hear people sometimes and they fuss about outdated or whatever. There is nothing going on in this ship to me that would ruin a cruise because of its age. And really, I would say that about all the ships so far, that it hasn't been a problem. I did go ahead and go through the spa area here. There are obviously some opportunities to work out. So you got your gym equipment. You've got some classes that'll be held. Some of those things will cost you a little bit of money. So make sure you know what you're getting into. But plenty of equipment if you are looking to, kind of stay healthy and maybe stay out of the weather while you work out. Not a problem here. Again, that hot tub, kind of little hidden gem there. It seems like each ship, if you know what to look for, there's a little hidden gem, like on the Radiance class, getting to use the sauna for free, whereas you're not using it for free anywhere else. So just fun little perks like that. But yeah, restrooms are here. Again, that's one of those things where if you happen to be in the neighborhood and you're trying to find a restroom, those restrooms most of the time are not going to get used. I don't really go to do the spa kind of a stuff. We did it one time with my wife. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. If that's your thing, more power to you, but it's really not ours. And the one time that we did try to use it, it was really more of a sales pitch oriented thing. And they didn't really it wasn't the relaxing experience. It was the sales pitch constantly while they were working on the massage. So again, I would not recommend doing it. And remember that these are third parties. It's not Royal Caribbean crew members. It is another company that is renting the space, kind of like a mall kind of a thing. So keep that in mind because, if there's issues, Royal Caribbean will only have so much that they can do for you. So again, I tried to go out the doors here, but completely failed because they would not open. But it's a shame because that's an awesome view. Anyway, I fought with the door for a little bit there. I just edited all the time out where I was trying to look at the light blink and waving my hands, trying to get this thing to open so I could show you that view. And what you didn't see was another couple seeing me fighting it, and then they came over and they're trying to get it to go. If you're familiar with the ship and you've had the opportunity to go out there, which I have, you know that, again, it's a place that they would love to have open. It's very nice. It's beautiful. So anyway, I'm going to come back out here to the pool deck and kind of show you. Obviously, you can see that screen that's over here. That big screen is pretty much on all of the ships, at least off my top of my head that I can remember. They will show movies here, just like they will show them in the theater that I was showing you. The same movie, Wicked, was here on a different day to people that wanted to watch it outside. Obviously, that's something, again, being it was a little bit cooler weather. Most people were either dressed warm and sitting outside, or they were in the hot tubs. And obviously the hot tubs were at a premium at that time that the movies were showing. So again, plan ahead if that's something you're after. You're going to want to be in the hot tub well before the movie starts because, again, those are people want to be there. If they're out there to watch it, they're going to want to do the hot tub, and you may be fought for space, or you may just be watching it somewhere that you didn't want to because, again, there's no seat. So plan ahead. So up here to the right is a men's room, and then you can do the same thing as you come inside and make a right. there is another place right here to get into the exact same men's room, just a different way to get through. They have, again, back to the artwork, all the ships that are around here. I know that you saw the other one. I've seen, I think, at least 4 ship models on this ship that I was here that I can recall anyway as I shoot the video. So, again, I'm going to go up the stairs here. Hopefully, we can get a look at a little bit of the art. Because there's plenty as we go up. There's no shortage of things up at this level. So, we'll go ahead and travel up here so you can see some of the opportunities. We're going to get to one of my favorite ones, which is Dizzy's, and also the Viking Crown Lounge that we'll show you here in just a little bit. So, again, deck 12, your elevators. What you're seeing here, again, when you see the stuff on the left and the front of the ship's on the left, that means that's where it's located. And when you're looking at that ship thing there and you're looking at the stuff that's to the right of the middle, that's showing you what's in the back of the ship. So again, another way to help you learn your way through the ship. The arcade was a decent size here. I was fairly impressed with the size. I've been on a few of them. I'm like, I don't know if you're going to call this an arcade, but it is what it is. The arcade here, again, decent size. The prizes, there's really nobody that works this area much, so don't expect a whole lot of like a supervision sort of a thing if you're trying to pawn your kids off into this area. If you're getting your prizes and all that kind of stuff, that is going to be on their card, and it's a machine. It's not someone working a desk that hands out the trinkets that you can get. So kids can run in and out of here, but there's also ways to get to some of the other kids' things going through here. So again, keep that in mind as you look at this. It's funny, Skee-Ball is one of my favorite games. I kind of like the longer ones and the older versions than I do the newer ones. But I love the game. I used to be much better at it, and I just don't play it enough anymore. I've lost the skills to do that. Working that bank shot to hit the top one. I just don't quite have the move anymore. I don't know why that goes away, but apparently it does. But anyway, yeah, it's a decent size. It's a decent size area. I love air hockey. They got the one that is flat. They got the curved. I wish places carried that old not dome air hockey, but the dome hockey. Where you got like the sticks kind of like on the sides, like you do a foosball kind of a thing. I loved that game. Usually, if I find the game, I don't have anybody to play with. It's just me. So, but yeah, let me know if you feel the same. I love that dome air hockey game. Need to have it on a ship. You know what? I take that back. I still wouldn't have anybody to play with. My wife would not be interested. But the games here are fine. The stuff you win, again, it's the trinkets that you would expect. The stuff, you're on a cruise ship. So, yeah, everything's going to be a bit overpriced. Expect that. However, most of the time, if this is something you expect your kids to do, there's opportunities before the cruise to save a little money and get, and I'm just going to go off the top of my head, like, $50 worth, get an extra $10 or something like that. This is just one of the art displays they have here. It's nothing to play, but it kind of self-operating there. And again, that was the entrance also to Adventure Ocean. Again, a little bit more artwork with the motorcycle coming through. Again, more area over here to look out. Unfortunately, with the weather, it would not allow us to go outside on that deck and look around, unfortunately. That's what the sign's for there. And then that's another kids area going through. I really tried to get a picture of this area because I like the area so much. Just being outside and with the wind and the breeze. I personally thought that it would have been okay, but I guess it's not, a guy my size out there that you're worried about. It's, maybe a kid that's out there. So, but yeah, I would have loved to have gotten in there and shown you just that outside view. We'll go back upstairs. This is where the good stuff's at least in my opinion, because I like Dizzy's and I like the Crown Lounge that's up here and how they do their people. So we'll go ahead and travel up. This area here, usually on most Royal Caribbean ships at night, Dizzy's becomes a nightclub. And so because of that, actually, I'm not even quite there yet. That's on the other side. We'll go through the sports court here first so you can get a look at it. I was surprised. I don't know if I was actually supposed to be back here when I was filming this because it's an outdoor area. And I didn't even notice it. But on the floor on the way back, I saw a sign and it was like it was closed. But the door was unlocked. And I didn't know it at the time. And as I'm coming back out, you'll see that there's a kid that's coming through there. So I was like, uh-oh. But it was really breezy here. I've got all of the sound off because of the incredible wind and such that was coming through here. So this is more than just a basketball court. They'll play dodgeball and all the other outdoor games that are available to them, and places here obviously to sit and relax. If that's what you want to do, if you got a kid that's playing, you want to kind of watch them, that's your opportunity. That's a little hidden area there if you want to just stand away from things, and it blocks a little bit of the wind. But this is also good views, but there's really no chairs to sit and relax, to just look out. And that was unfortunate because, again, I would have really loved to have been out here and been able to relax. But again, I was filming at the time, and I realized I wasn't supposed to be out here. So, I didn't go back out and just enjoy the night like I would have liked to. So the slides over here, this is something that, if I recall correctly, that was fitted on after the fact. I believe when it originally launched, it did not have the slides on it. That was something that was retrofitted later on, along with obviously a few other things. This is your wave rider. Obviously, this is not on as well because, again, it's windy. No one's going to be able to use it, and so that they don't have that going. The perfect storm is up here to where you can enjoy that, but again, blocked off because of the weather. But that's where it's located. And then it has a real nice miniature golf, like really, I think all of the Royal Caribbean ships do that were at least this new. I don't know if I can't recall if it was on the Radiance class off the top of my head, but it's well done. It's always got a little bit of a theme to it, and it's fairly well maintained. So if you like miniature golf, this is not something that you pay for. It's just something that's right there on the ship. So again, go have yourself some fun. All your clubs and balls and score sheets will be there. That's a beautiful view, by the way. I just had to kind of stop and look at that for a second, even though I was sort of working my way through the ship here. I love the view, and I wish it would have been something I could have enjoyed this night, because really we're on the last night that I could to do this. This was a part of, not only was it the 12-night transatlantic, but it was also, I did the 5 days after to Italy, and this is actually that part of it here where I'm doing this, is the last day just before we get off for Italy. So that's when I took the time to do this, because the first 12 days I was with family and friends. So this was just like, all right, I've got to work here, and so I did this video along with some of the casino stuff and some other things that we'll get to a little bit later on that I'll be putting out about being a transatlantic cruise and about the different port stops. So up these stairs is an area to where the Crown Lounge can go to. I love that area, and I can get to that even though it's windy out. But we'll get to that here in a minute, because that is one of my favorite spaces. This looked fun, but it looked like something, again, if I had someone to play with, I'd want to do, but I'm not sure with my size if my knees would agree with that. So again, I'm kind of turning the camera away because there's a young person coming through, and I always try to limit that. But I noticed here, if you saw that little red thing on the floor, that's where I realized that I may not supposed to have been in there. So too late. It was already done. No sense deleting the video. Anyway, up we go. This is going to show you Dizzy's, and it'll show you the Crown Lounge and Azumi's up here, as well as the chapel. So we'll go ahead and give you a look at that so you know what to expect when you are getting into Dizzy's. Again, this nightclub here, oftentimes there is someone there to check your card, and they'll have that run through to make sure that you're old enough to actually be in Dizzy's when the nightclub is going on. That's Azumi. I try to get it. I don't know how good this is going to go through here. It's maybe on a big screen. Hopefully you can kind of see what the menu was for the day there. But the area, this is one of my favorite areas. They always have a good service, I feel, up here. When the silent disco, this is done up here. The DJ does his thing up here, as well as in the promenade. But usually some pretty good music and fun going on. They do have some different genres of music, but it tends to start with whatever the theme is, say like on 70s night or on 80s night. But after about an hour, it gets into really more the current stuff. So depending on your age, that may or may not be something that deters you. And I was up here, though. Again, the place was packed when I was here. And that's on a transatlantic cruise. I was kind of thinking that might not be the case, but it was. The bartenders, though, did an excellent job of keeping the line down. They had plenty of people working it, and they were just on top of their game. I really couldn't express to you enough how impressed I was with the job that they did. There was a fellow working there named Russell that was absolutely top-notch. So those guys move around, but if you happen to see Russell on that ship, he's got a fan. So anyway, this is your Crown Lounge, and you have to have your key card that says that you are a Diamond or Diamond Plus or Pinnacle. Sometimes this will not be open to a Diamond during certain hours if there are a whole lot of Diamond Plus and Pinnacles on the ship. As it stands, I am Diamond Plus, so I was able to get in regardless. There's a great place here. If you're looking for coffee and you're Diamond Plus, this is a great place to do it. And then during like your happy hour or, that 5 to 8 area, a lot of times there's some pretty good food here. If you're just trying to avoid everything, your shrimp, or maybe there's meatballs, or there's chicken wings. Although I got to tell you that some young chickens died to make those wings. Those are some tiny wings that they had there. But anyway, I digress. This area out here, again, is part of my favorite. To me, it was underutilized because you can watch, again, only Diamond Plus can come up here. You got views of what's going on as far as if you want to do your people watching, watch whatever game is going on. But if you're also just looking out the side of the ship, you've got some amazing views. And these are some of the most comfortable chairs you'll ever be in on this ship. So that to me, that's sort of like a hidden gem. If I have a complaint, it would be that the servers would come from that bar into over here to get drinks, but I never saw them actually come outside to get a drink. So I that's an area I felt that maybe they could have improved upon, but it doesn't like ruin your cruise or anything. I just would have liked to have seen the service there. So again, as you probably saw, some teas there as well. I was about to peek into the chapel here where those stairs go. I thought about, like, well, do I want to show that? I don't know if it's important that I show the chapel. It's like, all right, I'll just walk up there. And I found apparently the hiding place for crew members when they're trying to get away from everybody and use their cell phone, because I came up the stairs and I made this turn here, and these two young ladies were just like a deer in the headlights going, oh, shit, we're caught. Yeah, it's closed. I'm sorry, you can't. Maybe you could get through on the other side. Unfortunately, I wasn't, I don't care. I doubt anybody's going to see this from Royal looking for a cruise blogger doing a tour. But yeah, I just totally caught those guys kind of napping on the job. But I realized after the fact that I had forgot to show you an area where they've got the computers and such for VOOM, not the VOOM desk, but the area where you can actually go to use their computers. Again, you still have to have the internet plan, whether that be the hourly version or whether that be the full day. It's definitely worth it to just get the full day in most cases, because it shuts off right at 60 minutes. So anyway, that's what that shot was there, was just me kind of showing you that. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you would like and subscribe and share that with your friends, it would mean the world to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.